I am going to talk about illegal immigration from a common sense point of view. In the world, still many people believe that immigration in general is something wrong, and I think it's something that people think that always harms the economy of the receiving countries. But yeah, illegal immigration has negative elements, but I think has more positive aspects as well. Like everything in the world, there's like good sides and bad sides. It's just the way you look at the things. So, from my point of view, I think the solution would be that all of the illegal immigrants were given opportunities to have legal jobs and have a legal status in the country. And I think that would change it negative, like all of the negative perception that the people have on them. I think that would be eradicated. So I think that would be it, because by allowing them to work, it will be beneficial for the country and for the immigrants as well. Because in the case of the immigrants, the government would give them a legal status and they will have the possibility to work, and that's what they will have the benefits like health, education, and security. And in the way back, all of those immigrants will pay back to the government paying taxes. And I think it's a really good deal because, like, I give you and you give me back, so I think it's a really good deal. But of course, like, this idea has like positive and negative aspects, like everything. And I think the positive aspect would be that all of these immigrants will be able to get jobs easier and have like they will be able to start a life easier in another country. And as well, another benefit is that they will be able to use all of the benefits from the government, like health, education, public transport, and security. And I would think that maybe the negative aspect would be that the decreasing of the population of descending countries. Let's think in our case in Colombia and Venezuela, like the population in Venezuela is decreasing because there are so many immigrants going outside to Colombia, South America, North America, and then there's no one to work for that country, and I think that's something bad because then they're always gonna stay in that stage. So I think it's bad. But as well, I think like when the receiving countries they receive so many immigrants, it become like an overpopulation, and I think that's bad because that can affect the GDP, and if the country is not prepared, that can increase the poor population of the country. So I think that would be like bad as well. Anyway, I think that sometimes in so many cases, like the countries they do not use their common sense and they don't incorporate all of those immigrants into their economies. So for example, in our case, in like between Colombia and Venezuela, like yeah, like this has been a really good, huge topic in our country because we face this reality every single time that we go out to the streets, because we see all of the people in the street with the kids, and it's something bad. But I think that Colombia just let the Venezuelans refugees into the country, and that's it. Like the government doesn't think further about giving them like a legal status or papers with which they will be able to become taxpayers, and that would be so beneficial for the country. That would be so good. And I think in this aspect Colombia lacks vision, because that would be an economic improvement for the country, and they don't use that in our favor. Because anyway, I know that immigration in so many other occasions it's something really good, because for example in countries like in Germany and the UK they have a really big immigration because of the countries from the EU, but they built a really strong economy on those immigrants because they know that the immigrant they are living a bad situation in their home country, and they just want to go there and work and build a new life. So they use all of that like working force into something good into the economy, and that it's something good because that's like that increases the development of the people and in the country, and that's beneficial for the economy of the country, of the receiving country, and as well for the people. But in the Colombian scenario, I want to believe that in the future the government will be able to use all of like their common sense and use all of that Venezuelan immigration into something good, like into something good, and not making Colombia poorer like it's happening right now with this government that we have right now. But I think for that, first the Colombian government need to legalize all of those thousands immigrants and give them an ID or a cedula, because they can not just come into the border and that's it, because then they're not gonna be able to find jobs or anything. And as well, I think something that killed Colombia as well is the corruption, because instead of like all of those politicians robbing the money from the people, they should invest that in creating companies and supporting companies, so like that there will be enough job places for nationals and immigrants. So I think that will be really good because it's like a balance between the nationals that live in the country and the immigrants. And but from my point of view, I think that might not ever happen, because like the corruption in Colombia always been there, and I think it's always gonna be there because it's something huge that I think we cannot even imagine. And I think our politicians they just want like they have their own opportunities and take advantage of it. But in conclusion, I think common sense is the ability to assimilate some information and then transform the information into a practical way to solve a problem. And in this case, I think the governments they should use immigration as something positive and take advantage of it, because by more people working in the country, the GDP increases and then the life goes up. So I think that's a really good deal. And I know it sounds rude, but all of our governments they should use this problem as they use it, as they said, into something you take advantage of it, and then I think like that they should grow up economically the country, and I think that would be a solution.